Hey everybody, Charles Calhoun, aka the Shade Tree Pro, here at the beautiful Grand Vista Marriott in Orlando, Florida, where I own and operate my teaching business under the Shade Tree. Hey, today, also here, I'm going to talk about something that I saw a change in the golf swing of Willie Mack. Willie Mack III played on the APGA Tour. You know, been a young pro for a while. You know, still chasing that dream. But one day, Willie, I put on a comment on one of Willie's posts, you know, because like I said, I'm a teacher, and I'm gonna tell you what I see and what I know, and I'm gonna tell you from experience. Well, if many of you all who have seen Willie Mack's swing, you all know that Willie's got this little jump move that he has. When he comes down, he's got always had this little jump move. Well, that's fine and dandy if that's part of his rhythm and everything else. But as I wrote to him on one of his posts saying to him, it's like that's what causes his problems when he gets under pressure. And that's why it is probably a limitation of that's only taken him to this level to where he's, hasn't gotten to that level. And sometimes it is something as simple as a movement there. Now, I know we all talk about the jumping up off the ground, and maybe he has activated that and tried to do that more. But here was the problem. And this is where I make this comment about Willie's swing, is that when you jump up off the ground, there's no way under pressure you're going to be able to time that. You're not going to be able to be consistent with that. And when the body and the mindset gets under pressure, in a sense, you got to have something that's natural, reliable, and something that will work consistently, whatever the pressure is. Because the number one thing you have to know how to do is you got to know how to connect the neurological to the physiological that absolutely helps you psychologically. And those are the things that you have to do, you have to understand. So, you can work on your swing till the cows come home, but if you got a movement that when it gets under pressure, the evidence show that it's going to do something, it's going to change. And I've always felt that Willie's jumping, that little jump move, was a problem. And, and I think he understands, I think he believes it's a problem. Maybe somebody's never told him it's a problem, but I think it's a problem. Because the last video I've just seen of Willie, which I would have told him right off the bat, this is how you fix this, or make it better. See, I have always said that the golf swing is not from the ground up. And I know Willie probably believed that it's from the ground up. Probably the people who's teaching him is telling him it's from the ground up. Try to get your body going and all that. Remembering, once again, the only thing that swings the golf club is our hands and arms, shoulder girdle, all of that stuff. And why are we focusing on things that don't swing the golf club? That I never understood. But now I was watching Willie hit some drivers. And what I noticed would have been exactly, because I've even talked to somebody about this, that what he would do would fit him better, is that now when Willie's making his downswing, actually his heel is coming up off the ground a little bit. Now what that's doing, that's allowing him to plant his lead leg without the jumping. So when he plants his lead leg, which is pushing down and making that heel plant on the ground, guess what? You can repeat that consistently over and over and over because you're bringing that to a solid surface. Now, if you happen to bring your heel way up here, it's still coming down to a solid surface each and every time. So I saw that in his swing, that he had that little heel lift, and then he just planted that foot, and and that goes into sequence with what his body is actually wanting him to do. And that's just come from, whether you see in Jack Nicklaus, seeing many other guys and from the old days, how they used to get that heel up here, then all of a sudden when they scap dropped, all of a sudden they planted it, and then they went. And I'm watching Willie do that. And I watched him hit some drive. I think he was in Michigan or something. And I watched him hit some drive. And I said, okay, he getting that foot right, because he needs that. And when he gets that to where he's planting that instead of that jumping up this way, then all of a sudden, personally, I believe that his swing will become more consistent. And matter of fact, I think his overall game will become more consistent because where I talk about neurologically, the way he's thinking will start measuring up and matching what actually happens. Because whether we believe it or not, the movements of the golf swing, especially in the feet in itself, is really conditioned to whether we walk in or we run. It don't know if it's a golf swing. And when we move our feet, you know, we go from the balls to the heels. They lift and they plant. They lift and they plant. Just like this, they lift and they plant. You all have been in the military, you know, they lift and they plant. So if I sit here and I know that I'm planting that every single time and I'm coming to that same space every time, then I can start matching up what I'm thinking, what I'm seeing in the mind's eye, and being able to produce that same swing over and over and over. Now, I saw that in Willie's video. Y'all can go back and look at his lead foot in comparison to a lot of other videos and see the difference and see the change. You know, whether he knows he's doing it or whatever. But like I said, I know if he would have came to me, I would have changed that. That's the first thing that I would have taken. I would have changed. I would explain to him and tell him why, which I'm telling you all. And I promise you, it will make a difference because he will become more consistent and he can come through that strike more consistently. And that's just, I mean, if it was good for Jack Nicklaus and all those good guys back in those days, and they still talking about it this day, then it's got to be good for Willie. Hey, this is Charles Calhoun, a.k.a. the Shade Tree Pro. Hope you liked this video. If you did, definitely give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Join my membership. Hey, leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. Charles Calhoun, a.k.a. the Shade Tree Pro. Always good golfing.